strengths. And the first one is clearly his size and length. At 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan, I think the easiest way to put it is to call him a deterrent. You'll see a lot in some of these clips that I'll show that he's a deterrent to guards that are trying to attack the rim. When you see a 7'2" player down there with a 7'5" wingspan and a 9.5 foot standing reach, it might make you think twice about trying to finish at the rim with him around. If you're not going to go up strong against Kai Sotto, you might as well not go up at all, because he will take the shot out of the air. He's got good verticality, specifically against straight line drives. If he's in the lane, he's going to be tough to finish over. And I think that's really the biggest positive here from a player like Kai Sotto. You know, we've seen it in the past from guys like Boban Marjanovic and some other, Sean Bradley. You know, those guys are a little bit bigger than Kai Sotto, but that type of size and length is very tough to deal with. So he's going to be a deterrent in the at the rim. And also he's going to be able to contest out on the perimeter just because of his length. You know, he can play off quite a bit. Just put a hand up, and it's going to be tough to shoot over him just simply because of how big and tall and lengthy he is. And then likewise on the offensive end of the floor, I mean, if he gets good positioning, if he's under the rim, he's going to be an offensive rebound machine. Now, the thing is, he is fairly light, so it's not like he's the hardest guy to box out and move. And he's not the most vertically athletic player either. So you can jump with him and try and out rebound him that way. But that is, you know, setting yourself up for failure a little bit, because if, you know, a guy with 9.5 foot standing reach, if he can get off the floor by a foot, I mean, he's already above the rim by half a foot at that point. So again, Kai Sotto, he's definitely someone who, with his size and length, is an intriguing prospect, just simply from the eye test, because you're looking at a player that big. I mean, there is some value there in its own right, just because of how big and lengthy he is, that I think he could impact the NBA game a little bit. Moving on to one of his biggest skill set points, and that's his face-up game out of the post. That's actually one of the most surprising things for me. He's a left-handed player, and he's actually got a really nice post-up arsenal, specifically once he catches with his back to the basket, turns and faces up toward the hoop. And the one thing that really stood out to me is he's actually comfortable going to his right. In one of the clips here, you'll see him put the ball on the deck going right. Doesn't actually finish the play, but definitely is someone that, you know, kind of reminds me of Montrezl Harrell. We know how good his face-up game is. Now, I don't think he's nearly as quick or as explosive as Montrezl Harrell, but not a lot of players utilize the face-up game as a driver, and Kai Sotto is definitely comfortable doing so. And you actually see part of why this is so successful for him. You know, in that first clip, he got someone to bite on an ump fake and then able to put the ball on the deck. Part of the reason why is because that's a progression play for him earlier in the game, or at other points in the game, you know, on film and everything. You'll see certain points where he's just able to turn around, knock down a jump shot. And with his size and height, and where he, you know, releases the ball from in his jump shot, he is very tough to contest when he gets the ball at that 12 to 15 foot mark. It's similar to Kristaps Porzingis that we've seen in the NBA. When Kristaps catches the ball 15 feet, you basically have to hope he misses. Now, a 15-foot jump shot with someone on you, probably not the most efficient shot, but at the same time, Kai Sotto can get that off whenever he wants. He has a fairly quick release for his size. And with the way he releases the ball, almost nobody's going to be able to block that shot. So there is a little bit of face-up post game here that he can work with. I think that'll be a little wrinkle you can add into an offense. Now, I'm not saying Kai Sotto is going to be a go-to scorer averaging 20 points a game. I don't believe that. But what I do think is if you have him come off the bench, or if you need him to get some buckets with the bench unit, I think he could give you that to a certain extent. And that is a real positive for a player like Kai Sotto with his size, length, and then you add a little bit of skill set to that post-up game. It's a pretty good combination. Moving forward to another strength, and it's actually his downhill mobility. And this is part of one of the things I like about Kai Sotto. He actually runs the floor very well, which is something you don't typically see from someone who's 7'2" or taller. You know, think about the Boban Marjanoviches, Sean Bradleys of the world. Of course, again, those guys are a little bit bigger, but they just don't run the floor very well. Sotto, on the other hand, does run the floor well downhill. So I think his downward mobility, where he's going straight forward, very, very good. He's actually a little bit more athletic than you would assume as well. There's going to be a clip in here where you see him catch a lob and finish with a reverse jam. I did not think he had that in his game. But then, you know, watching more of him this year with the Adelaide 36ers, where he's got a little bit more of an opportunity to showcase his talent, he's impressed me.